If you've been feeling numb during worship, spiritually checked out even while your hands are lifted and the music is loud, then something deeper is happening, and ignoring it is dangerous. You don't just lose the feeling for no reason. This numbness is often a warning sign that something sacred inside you is being quietly suffocated. Maybe you've been going through the motions, standing in church with a blank soul, silently wondering why everyone else seems to be connecting, while you feel stuck behind a wall you can't name. This isn't just burnout, it's a spiritual signal, and sometimes it's God's mercy allowing you to feel nothing so you'll realize how far you've drifted. In Revelation 3:16, Jesus speaks to the lukewarm, those neither hot nor cold, and says he'll spit them out. That's not passive disappointment, that's divine disgust at spiritual apathy. And numbness during worship can be one of the earliest symptoms of that condition. The first hidden reason you feel numb is because you've replaced intimacy with performance. You've learned the rhythm of worship, but forgotten the person it's about. You know when to lift your hands, when to close your eyes, maybe even when to cry, but none of it means anything anymore because you're not worshiping from revelation, you're worshiping from routine. Isaiah 29:13 says, "These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." You can sing about God while being miles away from God. The second reason, and this one stings, is that hidden sin creates spiritual static. You cannot walk in the presence of God while simultaneously walking in rebellion against Him. He is holy, and your spirit knows when you're living double-minded, even if your lips pretend otherwise. David said in Psalm 32, 3-4, that when he kept silent about his sin, his bones wasted away, and God's hand was heavy on him day and night. Some of that numbness you're feeling might be the weight of unrepented sin crushing your ability to feel God at all. Third, the enemy loves to desensitize your spirit through overexposure. You've heard every worship song, you've seen every altar call, you've been in church so much that it no longer stirs anything in you, not because God stopped moving, but because your spirit has become calloused. In Matthew 13:15, Jesus says, "This people's heart has grown dull." And dullness is more dangerous than doubt, because at least doubt seeks answers, but dullness doesn't even care. That numbness becomes a spiritual anesthesia, keeping you sedated while your soul slowly slips away. The fourth reason you feel numb is more subtle, but just as deadly. You've been worshipping for feelings, not for truth. You expect goosebumps, chills, tears, and when they don't come, you think God didn't show up. But worship isn't about emotion, it's about alignment. John 4:24 says the Father seeks those who worship in spirit and in truth, not in vibes and good lighting. God doesn't respond to performance, He responds to posture. You're numb because you've turned worship into a transaction. God, I sing, you show up. But He's not a vending machine, He's a king. Sometimes God withholds feelings to see if you'll still choose Him without them. And lastly, maybe this numbness isn't punishment, it's preparation. Sometimes God pulls back His tangible presence to deepen your roots. When you can't feel Him, you have to trust Him. And that kind of trust refines your faith like fire. James 1:3 says the testing of your faith produces endurance. And endurance doesn't always come in revival, it often comes in silence. If you're feeling numb, it might be because you're being stretched, stripped of emotional crutches, and drawn into deeper maturity. You're being taught how to worship without needing to feel worshipful, how to sing from the desert, how to praise without proof. That kind of worship terrifies hell. So if your spirit feels dry, don't panic. Press in, don't numb out, wake up. Tear down the idols of habit, confess the hidden things, stop chasing the emotional high and start chasing the Holy One. Choose truth over tingles. Choose posture over performance. Choose to worship when it hurts, when it's dry, when it's quiet, because the most powerful praise doesn't come from the mountain, it comes from the valley. You're not losing your faith, you're being purified. And the numbness that once felt like a curse may end up being the very thing God used to bring you back to the core of what worship really is. Not about feeling something, but about surrendering everything.